Okay, the watch this video for Wednesday, April 12th. This is a little bit different than most of my videos because the market is still open for almost 50 minutes. I'm having to make it early because we've got family in town and I won't be around this evening. So to make my life easier, I'm making the video early today. So the SPY sold off. Now, again, I feel weird making this video because for all I know, it could roll over at the end of the day. But as we stand right now with about 48 minutes left in the session, the SPY sold off, but then closing strong. We'll see. Anything could happen in the last 45 minutes or whatever, so keep that in mind. But without any shock events, I'm just going to go ahead and put out my watch list for tomorrow. HTGM, I'm not in love with this one. I'm going to show you 15-minute candles. I love this big pop here, lower high. Then yesterday, kind of a little mini breakout. And I love it over this 660 area. But right now it's at 619, so it's nowhere close to there. So this may not be interesting at all, but it's certainly worth watching because it's made some big moves recently, so that's why it's on watch. CLNT had this huge move, and then today, at least right now, above its open, it's sort of trying to bounce. With that crazy two-day move it made, it's certainly worth having on watch. Again, I love the stocks that make the crazy moves because if you even get a percentage of a move like that with a proper low-risk entry, you can make your daily goal pretty quick. So CLNT has to be on watch. I'll show you 15-minute candles here. So, it took out its early high here and then sold off and then came back and kind of flagged right here and then busted through and broke the high again. I really thought it was going to rip there. Perfect setup for a short squeeze. But from what they're telling me in chat is some other guy who has a huge following dumped it right as it broke the high of day and caused the dump there. And I don't know if that was a swing trade or what, but to me, and I'll show you the intraday setup, when you have a stock that moves from 3 to over 1050 in a very short period of time, and then the next day, you have a quiet day, and then today you have a quiet day, and then it ends up ripping through the highs, comes back down, you're sucking in some shorts here, right, to think, all the longs are idiots. Well, look what it does. It comes back up right below that whole number inflection point 6, which is right below the early high, and you've got this tight flag. I love this right here as a long through 6. Probably going to take out the high of the day and could have run to 7 or 750 without even surprising me even a little bit. And like I said, they're saying some guy who runs a big service put out his minions that he's selling it right here. That person obviously doesn't know what a short squeeze potential setup looks like, and so that kind of killed the rally. And then from what I hear, the same guy bought it again here and went, whoops, I guess I screwed up again. I don't know. But having said all that, it's certainly interesting over today's high, over 620-ish maybe. I don't know. But you can see it's not closing very strong so far. So, by the time you watch this video, some of these may be obsolete, and I might not even be interested in them tomorrow. But right now, that one's on watch. PYDS. Very high relative volume today. Well off of its highs. Well off its intraday's highs. I hate saying closing off its highs because, again, I don't know where it's going to close, but I'm just going to treat the rest of the video so I don't have to keep saying this like I'm making this closer to the close. Anyway, this is certainly worth watching for a red to green tomorrow. PYDS, CNXR, high relative volume for this stock, albeit not much volume. It's a thinner stock, and I don't know. I'll show you, on an intraday basis, this made a really interesting move. But if it round trips, it won't be on my watch list tomorrow. If it closes strong, it will. So keep that in mind. CNXR, let's see, MYOS. Also, this chart isn't that pretty, but on an intraday basis, this thing had a really nice move here. So, with any kind of a decent close, deserves to be on watch for a follow-through day tomorrow. CNAT, very strong again, right? This looks like that shooting star or topping tail, failed breakout, whatever you want to call it, and then today right back up. So this one, again, I feel like I'm chasing it, by even putting it on the list after this move, but maybe it gives a low-risk intraday setup. Like today, I mentioned it long over this tight flag here, which you got a nice high-of-day break after that, came close to yesterday's high before retesting the 520 and then making a better move. But, there's always potential low-risk setup on a strong stock, even if it feels like it's ahead of itself a little bit. So that one goes on watch. NYMX is super interesting over 450, right? It really had trouble with 4 here, went through 4, but closed below it here, here again, and then all of a sudden it pressed 4 and rips to 450, comes back to 4, looks like, failed breakout again, and next thing you know, a couple sessions, later, it's right back up. So I love this over 450 tomorrow. Keep that NYMX on watch. NAT, just kind of a flag pattern forming here. I'll look at it on 15s. So you had the big move yesterday. It was on watch today. No trades in it today, but it's kind of flagging. Maybe a follow-through day tomorrow. GNCA, pretty interesting here. You had this high back here of 639, and then you had a lower high of 620. I wish I'd have seen this before today, because that's a good setup. Kind of a cup and handle through 620 would have been nice. I saw him in the chat room talking about it this afternoon. It's getting a nice strong move here late in the day, so maybe a follow-through day in that one tomorrow. If you go to weekly, it really looks good. Right, you can see this kind of big pop to 8 here, then a lower high, and then this flag, and it's breaking out of that flag. So GNCA, pretty handsome chart here. We'll watch that one tomorrow. CCCR, huge move here. Now a couple days lower. If this all comes all the way back down to round trips, it's not very interesting. But tomorrow, it's still worth watching for a bounce, in my opinion. And lastly, I put DEPO on watch, which I was watching this for a bottom, in the low 12s, and then it did that little hiccup and then went back down, and then all of a sudden, boom, you had this big volume day, and it ran from, its range was 1210 to 1390. Now you're a couple days lower again, maybe coming down to test a double bottom, but on declining volume. So this one is still, to me, set up for another upside pop, but we'll see, only with a proper setup. We're going to add some gappers in the morning as well. Quick reminder, the stocks that I generally trade aren't acting that well this week. And let me rephrase that. The market really isn't acting that well this week. You've got macro events in the news, coupled with the market's closed Friday. Some of you may not realize that. I didn't realize it till yesterday. The market's closed Friday, so we're basically trading a holiday week, a Jewish holiday this week as well. So volume's light and things are getting whipped around more than usual. As long as you know that, you can adjust your position size accordingly. All right, enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see everybody tomorrow.